Well, hi. Today is Monday, February 16th, 2026. I'm Todd Studer, and this is Morning Coffee. We have special guests coming back into the studio today because we're going to talk a little bit about the Council Bluffs PRCA Rodeo. And if you have not experienced it at the Mid-America Center, you really need to put March 20th and 21st on your calendar this year. Doors are going to open both nights at 6:30. Rodeo kicks off at 7:30, and once it starts, we got nonstop action. This is PRCA sanctioned competition, and that means you're seeing legitimate high-level rodeo athletes right here in Council Bluffs. There's bareback riding, bull riding, team roping. It's the whole deal. And the stellar trick riding cowgirls will be performing both nights. And Friday on the 20th is Kids Night. And what that means is children under 12 get in free with a paid general admission ticket. That makes it a great family night out. Tickets start at just $20. So get yours at councilbluffsprcarodeo.com. Let's pack that Mid-America Center. What do you say? And coming up in just a little bit, we are going to talk with the folks that know everything about the Council Bluffs PRCA Rodeo, Gretchen Kirchmann, and also Greg McDonald. So there's our guest today on Morning Coffee. Morning Coffee brought to you by Steve Erlob, your Edward Jones financial advisor in Council Bluffs. Learn how he can help you reach your financial goals. Visit edwardjones.com for more. Edward Jones, member SIPC. Bloomworks Floral had been very, very busy getting through Valentine's Day, and now it's a never-ending process with them. Elisa and her team just unbelievably busy and doing such a wonderful job bringing beauty to Council Bluffs. They've been doing it for years with fresh floral arrangements for every moment worth celebrating. They also offer local delivery. So do you want blooms for a special event or just to brighten someone's day? Bloomworks Floral combines local charm with expert craftsmanship. Visit ebloomworks.com. Here at the studios on Willow, we have been telling you about the Council Bluffs PRCA Rodeo that is coming to town on March 20th and 21st. And a couple of folks are in studio right now that have all of the information. We just parrot what we learned from you guys. This is Greg McDonald and also Gretchen Kirchmann that are joining us today. Thank you so much for coming in. You guys are busy getting this thing ready, and what a wonderful event that's coming to Council Bluffs.
Well, thank you so much for having us. We're really glad to be here in Council Bluffs representing the rodeo.
The rodeo that's coming to town, this is not a small thing. This is a big deal for Council Bluffs and for the area. We want to encourage people to come in from the region as well, but getting the PRCA Rodeo to town, and especially early in the season like this is it's an important thing.
It's really great because we're basically bringing the Wild West to the Midwest with the Big Bucks Pro Rodeo Winter Tour stop here in Council Bluffs. And Greg can really go into the depth of the production and what it takes to put on the rodeo.
Well, let's find out, Greg. What are we going to see? What's going to be happening here on the
You're going to see a bunch of professional rodeo cowboys participating. This is Big League Pro Rodeo. Doesn't get any bigger than the PRCA, which is Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association.
So from there, over a 2-day, we see some of the same events from day 1 to day 2 with different competitors, but not all, correct? I mean, there's going to be different events. So people really want to be there both nights.
Yeah, correct. You should have different competitors each night.
How far out are the competitors going to be coming in? I mean, is this like a national thing that we're going to be seeing some of the best from all over?
Yeah, we're going to be seeing contestants from 5 states. You'll pull in a few that'll be, southern states, out east, out west, Midwest. You're going to have contestants coming from all over the country and from Canada.
And from Canada as well. This is, I'm excited to see this event back here again, and excited for Council Bluffs to be able to be put on the map the way that it is that you guys are doing, because these are the types of things that I believe, going way back when the Mid-America Center was first built, had to be in their mind. And now you guys are taking advantage of it and being able to do this.
It's really exciting because it's such a great stop on the tour, but Council Bluffs is really centrally located when you look at it, because we can pull in an audience from South Dakota and Minnesota. You can come up from Missouri, you can come over from Kansas, you can come from Nebraska, and it's like almost a destination weekend where you can stay and play and you can enjoy the casinos, you can shop, you can just have your weekend here, and then your night entertainment is going to the Council Bluffs PRCA Rodeo.
And so another thing that we have talked about before we got started is the affordability of this. This is a way to the entire family. It's a family-friendly event, and everybody can just have a wonderful night out, full entertainment, and they're not mortgaging their house to do it.
We like to say that rodeo is often cheaper than a babysitter. So kids stick with the kids.
Yeah.
Rodeo is also multi-generational. So there's something for mom, there's something for the kids, there's something for dad, there's something for grandma and grandpa, bring the neighbors. Everybody has something to watch, whether the kids are entertained with the rodeo clown. And we have Dustin, the Jester Jenkins, coming from Missouri. So he's pretty funny. You can check him out on Facebook and see some of his skits. But again, maybe grandma's into the trick riders and she wants to see the stellar trick riding cowgirls come. And maybe grandpa's like, I really want to see some steer wrestling, or I want to see some bull riding. And mom's like, hey, there's a little bit of Western shopping ahead of time. So multi-generational. But back to cheaper than a babysitter. Why do we say that, Greg?
Well, it's good for your entertainment dollar. This is good, clean family fun, right? And it's good for everybody.
Plus, kids' tickets are $5. So, right, cheaper than a babysitter. And it's also general admission seating. So, it's $20 for a general admission seat. We let you come in and pick where you want to see it, which is really super fun, because if you don't want to do stairs, sit at the top. If you want to be right down by the dirt, sit down by the dirt. And then for those people that are like, you know what, I really want to pick my seat, we have $40 reserve seats. And those are the gold buckles. So you can sit right down by the timed events, or you can sit down by the buck and shoots.
Oh, that's those are the premium ones that you want to get down there. You're right next to the action and seeing everything that's going on. And I also love it that we get to see local cowboys coming in here and taking part in this. We had an opportunity to talk to some of those and put it on the Potawatomi County Roots show, that if you go back to Friday's show, you can see them with Joe Bush and his dad, Bill, who let's call it for what it is. Bill's rodeo royalty around here with the level of success that man had.
That was so entertaining to watch and just to hear him talk about his story. So it was 50 years ago that he competed at the National Finals Rodeo when it was in Oklahoma City. And Greg can kind of talk about some of the Great Lakes contestants, because Iowa is in the Great Lakes region. So in pro rodeo, the country is divided into circuits. And so Bill really was at the pinnacle of his game back in the 70s. He was winning lots of good stuff. And
yeah, so the National Finals Rodeo is a Super Bowl rodeo. Currently held in Las Vegas, Nevada, usually the first 2 weeks of December, but it's 10 go-rounds. And only the top 15 cowboys in the world in their respective events get to, and it goes by money won, get to come play in Vegas. Most of the guys will spend a lot of money to try to make it to Vegas, because that's where all the money is made. Pays a little over $30,000 to win one round, so you can walk out of Vegas with a few $100,000 if you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And, all right, I'm 57. Is it too late for me to get in? I think maybe.
You know what? I'm going to sell you a sponsorship and you can come watch in
Okay.
the VIP suites. How about that?
I
Instead
think
of
that's-
participating or entering the rodeo.
That's a much better idea. That's we used to. I make jokes about. I had a long career as a sportscaster, and yeah, I'm much better in the booth than I am on the field, or in the dirt and that kind of thing. What about some of the back work that goes into putting on something like this? I know, Gretchen, you and I had talked before that there's a lot of prep work that has to happen to get the MAC ready for this event.
Exactly. That's why I asked Greg to join us today, because he understands when the bucking chutes have to come in, when the dirt has to come in. And so I'm going to let him give us some logistics.
Yeah. When you are talking about producing a rodeo in a building, a lot of times there'll be ice in there, right? You'll have ice one day, covering it with plastic, plywood, and then you bring in the dirt, right? So there's a lot to it, and it's a pretty quick turnaround. You'll have, rodeo one day, concert the next, hockey the day after that. So Mid-America Center, we work at this year round, right? This doesn't, it's just we got to be ready for March 20th and 21st, but there's preparation going year round, right?
How many, I'm assuming there's a lot of dump trucks full of dirt getting all that in there. You don't just have guys with wheelbarrows wheeling it in.
Correct. It's pretty much a semi-trailer that comes in, and some bobcat work.
Yep. We will run a lot of heavy equipment, usually a front end loader, a couple of skid loaders. We have an equipment company called API that does the ground, basically finishes the work. So we get everything brought in there and get everything set up. And, you got to find a dirt contractor. There's a contractors that's what they do. They keep their dirt, they keep it inside. Otherwise, it would all be frozen, right? Certain times of the year. So it's got to have the right texture. Can't be too muddy. It's got to be pretty dry.
I
right?
never thought about that.
Yeah.
Is there a specific texture that a rodeo needs? And plus, I'm assuming that there needs to be a little bit of consistency from one event to the next.
Yes. Yeah. So with some events, you're never going to get it perfect, but we want to be able to, the animals to have good traction, right? No matter what, we want them to be able to perform at their best, right? They're the athletes. You are hoping to draw the best livestock you can to compete on. You combine your score, the human score, the cowboy score, with the livestock, and those two scores combined are how you get your points.
Let's talk about the other stars of the show, which is the animals. I mean,
Absolutely.
all the cowboys and cowgirls that are coming, people come to see them, but they're also coming to see the animals. And these are like, a lot of these get well known in the different areas, don't they?
Absolutely. They're professional athletes. They get hauled all over the country. You're going to have animals that competed in California, Las Vegas, all over the Midwest, Utah, Nevada. I mean, these animals are well hauled and they're professionals and they're worth a lot of money. So they're very well taken care of as well.
So one of them is Big Bucks Pro Rodeo has the stock contractor. And so they've got their animals. And this last year in Las Vegas, they had their saddle bronc horse Freckles. So a bay mare, she's kind of got some freckling on her muzzle. She performed there in Las Vegas. And so it's really interesting to see which animal athletes get to come here and perform. The interesting thing about the stock contractor is that they go back multiple generations with the bloodline in their breeding program. And so interesting enough, when Bill Bush, who was Potawatomi County Ritz, was on, he brought a program from 1977, and it was listing all the stock contractors who had previously had animals at the 1976 National Finals Rodeo. Well, I was looking through that, and I saw that there was D.A. Swanee Kirby. Well, it's actually his great-grandson that has got the Big Bucks Pro Rodeo. And so I'll let Greg get into a little depths of how that breeding program works.
Yeah, I believe it's 5th generation now. And they combined both the Kirby and the Mossbrecker rodeo strings when they bought the Mossbrecker card, the gentleman that owned Cody Flinton and Jody Burnside that own Big Bucks Pro Rodeo. And they combined those two legendary breeding programs. And so all the animals are born to buck, right? Generational stallions that buck with mares, and they breed these horses together. The different contractors will trade out different animals to keep the bloodlines from not getting inbred, if you will, and to just get it generationally better. It's genetics and environment.
Cody is such a stockman, one of the co-owners, and he was talking about how you're breeding in quarter horses and you've got some thoroughbred, and then how you've also got the draft in for the temperament. And so if anyone ever gets a chance to look at Big Bucks Pro Rodeo or to talk to Cody Flinton, it's just history in the making to hear him talk about his animals.
For the novice who may be going to their first or second rodeo, that this is a new experience for them, and we want to be able to encourage those folks to come too. When we think of a rodeo, we think of the bucking animals, and but there's so many more events that are going on that are really exciting. And last year I got my first opportunity to see Joe Bush wrestle a steer, and it was over with so quick, but man, I still can remember every single bit of that ride that he did because of the excitement level and knowing this is a local guy out here.
Yeah, he was in the steer wrestling, and I know that they showed the clip of him on his horse, and I think it was a 3 or 4 second run. He ended up placing
about 4.3, I think.
Oh, 4.3. You've got it down.
Yeah, that's where he was at.
Oftentimes they call the steer wrestlers the linebackers of pro rodeo because they're the big offensive linemen.
Big man's event.
Well, you saw Joe. Yeah.
To do that one. But it is really neat. I think that I look back to last year, we had the gentleman that won the calf roping here at Council Bluffs. He actually went on and qualified for the National Finals Rodeo. And
really?
So, we can always click over to KirchmannMediaGroup.com and you'll catch my interview with him down in the media room.
That's exciting to know that this is part of the journey for those cowboys and cowgirls to make nationals. And as you said, Greg, it's the Super Bowl of rodeo, and I know a lot of people have been down to Vegas for that event. So it draws from all over the country, and those athletes that are there, they are well known and nationally known and internationally known when you get to that level.
Absolutely.
One thing that's really impressed me as we look at this winter run here in 2026 is the amount of rough stock contestants. And when I say rough stock, bareback riders, saddle bronc riders, and bull riders. So just last weekend, they were up in Bismarck, North Dakota on the Big Bucks Tour. And they had over 15 bronc riders, both in bareback and saddle broncs. And then what was really awesome is Mason Moody, who's from around Huron, South Dakota, Letcher, South Dakota. He ended up winning. He had an 85.5 point ride on Big Bucks.
Also an NFR bull rider. He made his rookie appearance last year. Yeah, we're looking forward to really building this Council Bluffs Pro Rodeo into something that's a destination, right? So it's still in kind of in its infancy. We don't have a whole lot of added money, so we're willing to start working with the community to make this a big destination and make this a town festival, really. That's what we want it to be.
And you're coming here doing your part too. I mean, you've got, like you said, the $5 tickets in that, and we know you're going to be at the Shamrock Shuffle and having folks down there meeting some people and a chance to get tickets there. These are the types of things that you guys are doing everything right. To make an event like this work is to get you plugged into the community. You're a part of things here now, and we want you to be a part of things, and we want to be able to watch this grow as you guys do all of your hard work.
One of the things that we're trying to do is really get it to be to where every child has the opportunity to come and watch this rodeo. So on Friday, if you buy a general admission adult ticket, you get a free kids ticket. And so anybody can take advantage of that opportunity, especially if you buy your tickets at the box office. That's where it's going to be the cheapest. So $5 for kids, $20 for adults. You don't have any ticketing fees online. But of course, I mean, you could buy them online if you want to.
Right. So it's okay. Tickets will be available at the box office, so you don't need to get them ahead of time. And as you said, for the Friday show, that's when you're doing that?
Yeah, we're doing that promotion. So, yep, kids free with every paid adult. Yay. So if grandma and grandpa want to bring out the munchkins, then, they buy their general admission tickets and the kids are free.
That it just sounds like it's going to be such a wonderful event, and you can come, you can eat, you can take in some great entertainment, and it's really top to bottom. I mean, it's just solid energy. As you said, the jester coming, to the clown that's going to be taking a part in this, and he's a lot of fun. I've been watching his videos. Yeah, I have been watching his videos. Yeah.
He can really cut up with some skits and things. So when he was headed to Park City, we were like, hey, pack your suitcase. So he goes and he throws a stuffed animal in his suitcase and he's headed out the door. I mean, he's going to bring the laughs out to the whole group that's coming. And then, of course, the stellar trick riding cowgirls. So Kate and Tara Flinton, so their mom and dad are co-owners in the stock contracting company. The girls are 19 and 14, and they basically do gymnastics on horseback.
Wow. That's, I think I saw videos of that. I know I saw videos of them too. And I'm like, how are they doing that? I couldn't figure it out.
Oh my God. Those girls are very, very athletic. The interesting thing is that Kate, the older sister, is actually riding a former bucking horse named Mike.
Really?
Yeah, you want me to get into that story?
Please. I'm trying to figure out how that works.
So, and Greg can add into this, horses kind of choose their destinations. And so Mike decided he didn't want to buck. He'd rather be a saddle horse. And
yeah, not all of them buck.
Was that a decision he made in the middle of a rodeo? So some poor cowboy was out there and nothing's happening.
It's a great question for Kate. We need to get the whole deal on that one. But obviously they saw that here was a well-bred horse that's very flashy. He's got some paint coloring in him and he's beautiful and he does a great job being a trick riding horse.
Well, we are coming up on the time where you need to get it into your calendars because this event is just a little over a month away. So March 20th and 21st are the days for the Council Bluffs PRCA Rodeo, again, at the Mid-America Center. What are the hours? When does it get started each night?
So it gets started at 7:30 each night. So we'll open the doors about an hour early. And then we're going to run lots of different ticket promotions. So right now in February, if you want to buy your advance tickets, for Saturday, we got the BOGO option. So if you buy one, you get one 50% off in the adult category,
Okay.
which is great. We're running that kind of like a sweetheart deal the whole month of February.
Mm-hmm.
And then also we are a Wrangler rodeo, which means if you go shop over at any of the Boot Barn stores or even Cavender's across the river, you will be able to spend $75 in Wrangler merchandise and you'll get a free rodeo ticket.
Well, that's a heck of a deal.
Oh, and you're going to want to know about the March promos. So we do have promos coming out in March too. And so I would always encourage people, watch our Facebook, Council Bluffs PRCA Rodeo.com. You can check us out, on different social medias. So Facebook, Instagram, we'll have different things going on, but we want to make sure everybody can afford to come to the rodeo. And again, that's why tickets are $20.
Yeah, and child tickets $5, or if you buy them on Friday and you come in at the box office, paid adult, and you get a kid in for free. And so there's tons of value here and lots and lots of entertainment. You're in a rodeo area. We've got a lot of rodeo history around here, and this is our first opportunity of the season to get on out. So yeah, come on out and support this rodeo. I'm repeating myself, but I'll do it again anyway. We're excited that you're here. We're excited for the work that you're doing, and because you're helping to grow our community, just like everybody else has been talking about that we need to focus on positivity. It's been a theme for the past year. Focus on the positive things happening in Council Bluffs. You're one of them.
Well, thank you, because Greg can attest to this one, but we've got probably over 200 contestants that are coming in, which means they're driving and they need to fill up with gas, and they're probably going to eat in the community at some point. Will you talk about what you did with Full Fledged?
Well, a lot of times what we get into is the economic impact. There will be a pretty serious economic impact of the rodeo for Council Bluffs and Potawatomi County. Mm-hmm. The other things we'll get into is doing some other promotions. I'll let you touch on the one you're doing with Full Fledged.
Okay, great. So we're going to do a kickoff party. And so on Thursday, which is March 19th, we're inviting the community to come out and meet the bullfighters, meet some of the other rodeo personnel, meet Dustin the Jester Jenkins, the rodeo clown, on Thursday at Full Fledged. So we'll kind of kick that off about 6 o'clock. And then as the different rodeo personalities come into town and arrive, people will have a chance to meet and greet and get to visit with them before we have the rodeo on Friday and Saturday.
Well, thanks to the good folks over at Full Fledged for helping out with that and taking part in the event that's coming up. And, we're fans of theirs. They're been doing wonderful work here in the community and support a lot of different things. So it's great that you've partnered with them to get all of this happening. And again, look for these folks being out and about in the community. Come on out to the Shamrock Shuffle. That's going to be on March 7th down on the 100 block. You guys will be there talking with folks. You're going to have some other people there too, right?
Yeah, we've invited some of the local rodeo queens to come and help us hand out the free kids tickets and, just answer questions. And it's such a fun thing. And then also we're doing a ticket promotion over at Full Fledged the next 5 weeks.
Okay.
So obviously this is airing 5 weeks before.
Sure. Yeah. Well, initially, yeah. So depending on when you're seeing this, but yes, we're still, in the first couple of weeks of February right now. So since it's out there, you don't know.
Thank you for time stamping it for me. Exactly. But we're going to do Friday kind of promotions to where if you're there and you're socializing and visiting, and put your business card in the drawing over at Full Fledged, and then we'll draw tickets. We'll draw some gold buckle seats for the next 5 weeks.
That's coming up over the next 5 Fridays at Full Fledged. So get on out, support them, support the Council Bluffs PRCA Rodeo. Plan for the weekend for Friday and Saturday, and this is a very positive thing that's happening here in the community. And thank you so much, Greg McDonald, Gretchen Kirchmann. We are thrilled to be able to help tell folks a little bit more about it. And the fact that you took time out of your schedules to come in here and do this, I know it takes a lot to put all this together. You guys are crazy busy. So I'm grateful that you were able to squeeze this in. Well,
thank you so much for having us. And definitely want to invite the community. If they want to advertise or sponsor or be part of the rodeo, they certainly can. We want to make it a user experience. So last year we invited multiple state rodeo queens over, and the kids could come early and they could do a stick horse barrel race with the queens and meet and greet. And so there's lots of fun activation that can be had.
Yeah, there's a ton of fun to be had here. So yeah, whole family, bring them on out. We're going to be there, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys there too. And we'll be talking again. I'm sure we'll see you down there at the Shamrock Shuffle, and we'll be getting more of the information out in the coming weeks as well. So again, Gretchen, Greg, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Have you noticed that everyone that comes into the studio is impressed with this building? We are inside of the Park Building at 500 Willow Avenue in downtown Council Bluffs. It's been going through a renovation for the last couple of years, and it's great that they were able to save this downtown Council Bluffs landmark. Fully refreshed, new finishes, updated HVAC, along with modern amenities, kept the historic charm that makes this building so special. Do you have a small business where you just need a single office? You know, those start at only $450 a month. Where are you going to find an opportunity to have an office away from your home for that inexpensive of a price? And there is guest Wi-Fi, there is a shared conference space, and everything that you need is right here, right in the heart of Council Bluffs. The Park Building, open and ready for your business. A leak, a clogged drain, a big remodel, Waldstein Plumbing in Council Bluffs has all of that covered with fast, reliable service and expert craftsmanship, handling everything from small repairs to major installations. They're locally owned and trusted. That is Hayden Waldstein and his father, Travis Waldstein. They both take pride in doing the job right the first time. When integrity matters, and when doesn't it? These are the guys that you want to call. You can see everything online at waldsteinplumbing.com. The Council Bluffs PRCA Rodeo, March 20th and 21st, and get your tickets ahead of time, and we're looking forward to seeing you there. My name is Todd Studer, and we'll see you back here tomorrow morning.